So how can we be happier? Like, especially with what's going on in the world right now, how can we find that internal happiness? What are the key ingredients?
Okay, what would you say? Can I go first?
Okay,
Okay, no, you go.
Okay, no, you go for it. You said like
Okay.
you have something loaded.
I was just going to say, I think that it's an amazing time of awakening. That's what I would say. There's all sorts of devastation and dis-ease and disharmony and fear and anxiety and all sorts of things. But also at the same time, the silver lining, I think, is there's almost like a mass awakening in a sense, because I think people are being forced to slow down. Everyone's being forced, like certainly here in Ireland, there's a lot of, we're in our homes, we're allowed walk and it's very slow, but everything is slowed right down. No one's in a rush anymore. No one's got anything really important to do other than say hello to people. Oh, hello, how are you? I've had more conversations in the last couple of weeks with people from a distance, of course, but with people that were typically too busy or whatnot. So I think I think it's reminding us through this process of what's going on now. It's reminding us that it's really the little things, how life isn't as secure as we think it is, and to really enjoy the kind of day-to-day simple little interactions. So I think I didn't do a good job. I'd expected to do better with that story.
You did okay. Wait. I was going to say, I think happiness is kind of, it in itself is ephemeral, subjective, unattainable. I think what happipiness is a product of many things that we do, and I think there's many things, like it in itself is kind of like the infinite. It's hard to touch, to grasp. I'm now 10 out of 10 happy. Like it's naturally the emotional.
You finished.
It's an up and down kind of cycle. But I think there are many things that can underpin like the basics of to make yourself in a position to experience more joy, more harmony, more balance. And I think, often we do a number of talks and we kind of cover 5 basic tips. We go through them.
Yeah, I think point number 1 is just eating more. Like, I think nowadays, statistically, 9 out of 10 people in the West, whether it's Australia, Ireland, the UK, wherever it might be, but typically in the Western world, 9 out of 10 people don't get their daily recommended allowance of fibre. And fibre, you only get in fruit and veg. We live in a protein-obsessed society where, chicken and protein. But really, most people just aren't eating enough fruit and veg. So point number 1 is trying to eat more fruit and veg. Most of us don't eat enough of it.
It's not about being vegetarian or vegan. It's about doing your best. Just trying to eat more whole foods. Because I could eat a vegan diet and eat nothing but dark chocolate and French fries. But I'm not terribly healthy for myself or for the greater environment. So I think the more you can base the majority of your diet or your calories based around whole foods, the better your body's going to function and the better it is for the environment.
Yeah. Okay. Boom. Point number 1. Point number 2. What's point number? Point number 2. Okay. So people will often ask us, "Geez, where do you get your energy? You're fucking insufferable. You're so annoying. You have so much energy, whatever." So, I guess the question might be, it's about our main fuel source is not like in the afternoon. A lot of people will turn to coffee. They'll turn to, a chocolate bar. You'll turn to a snack bar, whatnot, like assuming that those things will give you energy. Or maybe they'll have a glass of water or whatever. But our main fuel source, the main place that we get energy as humans is actually oxygen. It's actually oxygen. And it sounds like, oxygen, how boring. But it's really, we live in a sedentary world now where things are so comfortable. We all have to count our steps because we don't move enough. But when you look at the blue zones, the longest living people in the planet, that's the blue zones done by Dan Buettner. They typically, these people that live, the most amount of centenarians, they live long, happy, healthful lives, and they consistently move throughout the day. So their environment naturally forced them to move every 20 minutes. So I think it's less about running marathons and having abs or having big guns or whatever it might be, but it's really just about consistently moving throughout the day. And really, like, even if you think about it, like we've got young kids, we've got 5 kids, not together, but between us. And like my kids aren't very good at sitting still. They're young kids. Like dinner takes about 5 minutes in my house. And young kids on average smile somewhere between, I think they say it's about 300 to 400 times a day. Like, and kids can't stop moving. Whereas as adults where, we've had years of training of sitting still, we've had school, we've had college, we've had work, we're very good at sitting still. An average adult will smile somewhere between 20 and 50 times a day. So really, point number 2, it's about just consistently moving, like it's if you look at people that have less, they move more and they tend to have more genuine smiles, more authentic senses of joy about them. So I think movement is whatever it might be. It's going for walks. I know, like, we've been writing a book recently, so every 30 minutes we'll set an alarm and spend 3 to 5 minutes doing stretching, moving, doing whatever, but just moving, because it's like, we're mammals. We need to move. It makes us happy.
Very good.
Thanks, Steve.
So point number 2 is to try to move more if you're looking for more energy. And these are 5 tips to kind of be a little bit happier, to experience more joy or more harmony, more balance. Point number 3, when they looked at the blue zones, which this was National Geographic and Dan Buettner and a bunch of scientists, they found the 5 areas in the world with the most amount of people who lived over the age of 100. And they found that there was 9 lifestyle factors that kind of predicated why these people lived such long, happy lives. And when they boiled it down to one most important factor for a long, healthy life, most people think, oh, it's oxygen. No, it's what you eat. Oh, no,
it's money.
It's positive thinking. It's positive thinking.
Yeah, it's mindset.
Yeah. No, but they found out the most important thing for a long, healthy, happy life, it's actually community and social connection. We're social creatures. So I think the more you can set up your lifestyle, like if you want to, the more you can set up your lifestyle so the healthy choice is the easy choice, the easier it is to live a healthy lifestyle. So,
and I think, can I say?
And we become the product of our environment. So, you become the 5 people you spend most time with, you become most like. So if you kind of want to be healthier, try to get healthier friends. If you want to get more active, get active friends. If you want to start eating more veg, start hanging around with the local vegetarians, we become our environment.
But even I was going to say, just to bring it back up on top of that, like nowadays, last year, I think it was in 2018, the UK, the way there's like ministers for health, there's minister for finance, they nominated their first minister for loneliness, because 14 to 16% of the UK population now is either all the time lonely or experiences lots of loneliness. So loneliness has become an epidemic in our society, where, we are obviously the most connected ever via the internet and via phones and all these type of things. But realistically, the most basic physiological we need as humans is the need for connection, that need for belonging, that need for being a part of a tribe. And nowadays, I think via mobile phones, people are losing the basic social skills to interact with one another. We see it when we employ younger people. They don't tend to have the same social skills as older people in terms of just basically talking to people, because they spend much more time used to texting or whatever those kind of interactions. So point number 3, I think it's the most basic, simple, fundamental thing. We are all insecure, flawed humans that want to feel accepted. We want to feel loved. We want to feel part of something. And really, realistically, we're going around, each one of us are going around with signs saying, please love me, I am worthy. And we're all using different strategies to be accepted. Like, some of us are going to the gym and having big muscles. Other of us are obtaining money. Other of us are doing other different strategies to feel accepted and belonging. I think the most basic, fundamental thing, and that's why I think the actual time we're existing in right now, where there's, as I said, I think there's a mass awakening in a sense. We're realizing how important connection, community, kindness, supporting your neighbors, all these basic, simple things. So I think point number 3 is to be aware that we have such a need for connection and community, and to really proactively cultivate these things within your life. Like, I see, we bring our kids to the playground, and I watch my daughter, and they run straight up to some other kid and they go, hi, can I be your friend?
It's so cute.
And that's it. Like, they've made a friend. Whereas as adults, it's just,
what do you do for a living? Hi, I drive a big car.
Yeah, like, it's just...
We're a bit more detached and a bit more afraid, but ultimately all we want to feel is love and acceptance and a part of something.